All right, we back. Episode 14 of the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. For now, we're back. Hopefully it stays. How's it going, Antonio?
It's going. That's all I got to say about it. It's going, I'm
The
powering
intro
through.
the intro song was supposed to be Staying Power by Wale. Shout out Riverside for not really working with me. That was supposed to be the intro song. But today I was thinking about women in hip hop. I was thinking about I saw the girl's name is Sexy Red, I think. You know who that is?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw a bunch of videos of her and Travis Scott like last night and this morning, and I just felt like it feels like there's a new woman in hip hop popping up like every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, we got Ice Spice that just popped up. We got Lotto, who didn't really pop up, but really got kind of big in the past few years. And then Sexy Red has been real big. Like
Lola Brooke.
Lola Brooke, I forgot about her, but she always talks about how her favorite rappers are like, she always talks about Gucci Mane and Chief Keef. And that really makes sense if you go listen to her because she has a song on her last album called I think it's Female Gucci Mane actually, and she literally sits there with a Gucci Mane flow. I forgot which song it was, but she does it a lot, honestly, and you can hear it because I think she's from St. Louis, so it kind
Yeah.
of makes sense. Yeah,
Man, I don't know. And I guess to that point though, I was like, there's a lot of women popping up. I even on like a smaller scale, you seen the girls like running on TikTok. You seen them?
I hate them. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's
You know,
hilarious. It's hilarious because I keep seeing them like they keep promoting it, and I love it because they're just promoting the same song over and over again, whether you like the song or not. I've yet to listen to the actual song, but I was gonna play "Stand Power" because I'm like, how many of these women are gonna stay? You know what I'm saying? That song by Wale is one of my favorite Wale songs because regardless of what you want to say about Wale, like he's still here. He's been around just as long as Cole, Drake, Kendrick. He's been here just as long as them. And it just got me to thinking like which of these women are gonna be here that long? Like Nikki's the only one that's really been staying like that.
I don't even know. Honestly, I feel like Ice Spice definitely has like pop appeal. Like she has the whole look, and she really would look good to the masses. She's good for marketing, and I feel like face wise, I feel like she would be more so on like the Cardi B side, staying relevant to where it's like the internet and like stuff outside of rap versus like
Yeah,
I
but I
mean
don't.
like I feel like go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't. I like that's for the casual. I'm talking about like music. Who's gonna stick? Who do you think is gonna stick music wise? Who's gonna stay that long? Who has the ability to do that?
I think like people like it would be more so on my side, like Tierra Whack, like
Okay.
Joe Nasty, Lotto still would be in there for me because I mean I feel like she's kind of riding the whole like trap part of the women rap who are like going on more harder beats. I feel like she definitely does that, but I feel like she does it well. So I feel like maybe those would be three that I could think of. Lil Sims, stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
but those are like
I think
actual bars.
I think Dochi. I think Dochi.
Mhm.
I don't. We haven't got the first project from Dochi yet, and so I'm interested to see which direction they go into. They got that. You were singing that song earlier, the Kodak song. That song is like really circulating a lot, but I'm wondering how rap heavy they're gonna get or how pop they're gonna get. You know what I mean? I feel like they'd had the record with SZA, and so I'm wondering if they're just gonna like pop her to death. Pause, if that's a pause, but I want to see her rap, bro. She's such a good rapper.
Yeah, I feel like she has people around her that are gonna like lean her in that rap direction at some point. But I feel like TDE they kind of play with that, like they hop in and out of like being like rap versus like even like more so jazz. Like I feel like there's never really clear, there isn't always clear flow with what they're doing, but it always sounds good if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So leaving that and coming into hip hop, like this question I had on the list, the most
Mm.
important people in hip hop. I was thinking initially, I'm like all time, who's the most important people in hip hop? But I feel like that's too obvious of an answer. I feel like you got like the Dr. Dre's, the Diddy's, the Jay Z's. You know what I'm saying? But today, in your opinion, like off the cuff, because you probably haven't had a lot of time to think about this, who do you think is are the most important people in hip hop today?
Do you mean like in this current generation, like right now?
Yeah, like whatever, however you would answer that question, how like whether it's like label, producer, executive side, or actual rapper side, like who do you think today, in your opinion, is the most important in hip hop?
I would for sure say producers then, just because I feel like what's carrying American rap music right now is production. The things that are making like real waves are the ones that, or like are in the masses at least. Like for the casual, you're hearing a lot of like the beats are what's carrying it. It's not more so what they're saying, it's what they're saying it on. So I would say producers are really like the most important in hip hop right now, in my opinion. That's in
Give me
my
some,
opinion.
give me some names, bro.
Metro Boomin,
Okay,
Forever Rolling, Take Keith. Even I would say Ken Carson is kind of a producer. Like he's been producer for a lot of the people making like the real Rocky beats. Like he produced on the Pink Tape. I think he produced like two, three songs on there. And I would say people like
okay,
that for sure.
okay. I definitely agree with you. Like, production drives a lot of it. I think, um, if I'm thinking names, the first people that like popped into my head, Tyler the Creator was a name that popped into my head.
Hmm.
Um, I don't, yeah, and I think the reason I asked you is because I didn't know how I would answer the question anymore. Because I don't think is I guess the mainstays, in my opinion, are the most important because the new wave isn't. When I think of the question, I think about like, yo, if you take somebody completely out of it, does it shift the entire landscape?
Well,
Right?
if it was that, then I would say like Uzi. I would say Drake
Yeah,
still. Like,
yeah.
I feel like maybe I don't know, more so like Cole and Kendrick. I feel like they're on that back end, like executive part of their career. They're not more so focused on like putting out heavy, like a heavy amount of music. Like Drake is still putting out music every single year. You only get a project from Cole and Kendrick every like 2, 3, maybe 4 years, depending on how they feel. But
It's
I
crazy
think
too,
seeing
though.
people like that, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy too, though, that they're the top of the heap, Kendrick and Cole and Drake. And I guess how many artists are coming out and saying like Kendrick is my biggest inspiration or Cole is my biggest inspiration? And maybe I missed that, but who like maybe like you can't even say the artist on Dreamville because that don't count. It's like a duh. But I don't hear rap people saying like, yo, J. Cole was my biggest inspiration. Who
Well,
says that?
I don't feel like that's the type of rap that's really like popular right now. So how would it be? Like those people who are listening, who are like putting stuff out now, probably wouldn't say that because that's not the type of music they're making. That's not what they were listening to. They would probably say like, oh, Future, Uzi, Travis Scott. Like they would say people like that. Like they wouldn't be like with what's being made right now. It would make a lot of sense for people to not be saying Kendrick and Cole are the are my inspiration. That's where I got my engine to just go at rap. That makes a lot of sense to me. Like they
So
wouldn't.
so are we saying that they're not influential?
No,
Is that what we're
I
saying?
think they
Is
would.
that what we're saying? Because I feel like influence, you can sort of point to it in a way. You know what I'm saying? To me, Kendrick's like the boogeyman. Everybody just gets out of his way. And when he drops, it's amazing. But like to that effect, it's like Kanye was influential. You know what I'm saying? Like we get Kid Cudi from Kanye. We get so many things. Like we get Drake from Kanye. We get Travis Scott from Kanye. Like we get all of these people who are like direct derivatives of it. And it's like it's almost like the Jay Z thing. It's like who, I mean, well, I guess not. I guess Jay Z had like direct influences, but yes, it doesn't seem to me that in this era of hip hop they are that influential, which is crazy to say because they're some of my favorite rappers. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, can you be like one of the best artists and not be influential? You're just good at what you do. Because I mean, I could see that. Like I think there's definitely rappers who are really good who really didn't influence everybody. Like or who I mean, maybe they're more so influential on like in like the content of what they say, not like in shifting what music is doing, but like what they're bringing to the table and what they have to say about the landscape of the world at that current moment. I feel like they've always had like projects that moved people, but maybe it's more so didn't move where music was going. If that makes sense, I think that could still be considered influential if you break it down in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think I guess they're influencing different things. That makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense because I would say as a man, To Pimp a Butterfly influenced me as a man.
yeah.
I don't rap, but it influenced me as a man. You know what I'm saying? That's a different
I feel
type
like
of influence.
2014 Forest Hills Drive influenced me as a man.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah. So
know,
so I guess it is different. I guess that is crazy to say though. And I guess to that point, I mean, I guess to that point, you think more about like how stuff sounds as opposed to what they're saying. Those are two different things. Right now, I'm writing a lot about. I told you about that term griot, and I'm trying to find different griots around the world that were like iconic, like Fela Kuti, Bob Marley, Burna Boy, Kendrick, like people like that. I'm talking about, and they're I guess more influential for what they say, but like the actual sound of the music I guess you would point to people like Kanye or like producers and things like that. Or I would say Drake to that effect too, because of the way he used his voice, right? Like
hmm
rapping has become an equivalent to like singing, as I say. Like rapping is not a genre anymore. It's like a tool. You rap, you sing. And so his ability to do both has influenced the entire mainstream market. Like R&B is like Blast, is he a rapper? Is he a singer? We don't know. You know what I mean? And I think that's directly from Drake.
yeah, yeah. I feel like people you more so hear people say Drake influenced me. I listen to Drake a lot. People don't
Yeah,
say that about like the rappers at least don't say that about Kendrick and Cole because they're not listening for that. Like
that's
they listen
crazy.
for sound. Yeah.
That's crazy to think. Like just having this conversation is crazy because the whole reason, like, I can pinpoint the moment in time when I fell in love with hip hop, and it was Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? It was rigor mortis. And to just like fast forward to today and think about that time gap and how much has happened, and to just say like he had no direct impact on the direction of music. That's crazy. That's crazy to actually think about. I don't know. I don't know. But um new music. I wanted to start with something else. I wanted to see how that would go. So new music this week. How do you pronounce this guy's name? Is it Raul?
It's Rauw Alejandro, I believe. Hey, yeah,
Yo, I started listening to that project this morning. It's fire, bro. You were right. You were
yeah,
right.
nah, it got some crack in it for sure. Like, there's one guy, Junior H, that's on it that a lot of people have been talking about. Some of his music's blown up on TikTok, but that song was really good. And then I was really getting into about 3, 4 songs in. There's some songs I was really enjoying, but I'm still bumping it. He put out maybe it's that like the A side, B side, because the album he put out before this was also called Saturno, I believe. Yeah, Saturno. And this one's called Playa Saturno. So I would definitely go check this out. It has crack in it. Oh man, there's just a lot of good reggaeton coming out right now. Like I said
Yeah.
before, Bad Bunny is like the one that's getting like pushed out. Everybody's hearing about Bad Bunny, but definitely if you go look, there's a lot coming out. Like there's a lot of good stuff coming out. And he's one of those guys making really good reggaeton. So
You know,
check that out.
I think because we're American and we speak English, we just get the peripheral of a lot of the Spanish stuff or the stuff in other markets. But when I talk to like some of my friends who are Mexican or Puerto Rican, they've been known about these people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I've been hearing this guy's name for a couple years now, and so I think of like how we have our American market and we have the artists we focus on here, which this is probably obvious, but Central America, parts of the West Indies, the Spanish parts, South America, like these people are mainstays. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's dope that for us for a while it was just Bad Bunny or Ozuna, and now we're getting these other names because they're making great music. Because after I was listening to this, I was thinking the same thing. There's a lot of good reggaeton coming out. Like the Mike Towers project, I completely forgot about that. That came out a couple months ago. That was really good. Ozuna just
Crazy.
came out like a month ago. Tiny came out. Um, I
Tiny.
forget. There was
I'm
another
still
one.
listening to Tiny Crazy. Tiny is real
Right,
good, bro.
right. But there was a couple producers I wanted to shout out. The song, the fourth song, Cookie, on
Mm-hmm.
this new project. Dimelo Nino, El Zorro, Kenobi, Dos Como Candy. I'm trying to get more into the credits. But they produced on a couple songs on this project. So shout out to them. This listening to this song had me thinking about the production on a lot of Spanish reggaeton tracks. I love a good beat switch, bro. I love a good beat switch in the middle of a song, at the end of a song. Um, at the end of this episode, if I can play these two Setch songs, I'm gonna play them. But there's this one Setch song is pretty good, but the last 30 seconds, bro, when the beat pick up, yo, it teleports me to Wynwood in Miami, El Centro at midnight catching a wine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. I can just imagine. I'm in the car going, I'm like, bro, I need to get back to Miami because I already know what this is gonna do. But I love a good beat switch, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Mike Towers is definitely real good at that. I heard it a lot on that last project.
Yeah. Party Next Door. I didn't he dropped a single, right? I didn't listen to it.
Yeah, it was pretty
Was it
good.
good?
It was a decent single. I definitely got to go listen to it more, but I more so want an album from him. I feel like his albums always sound better than his singles. Like the last couple singles he put out, I haven't really been bumping crazy, but the albums always. I feel like I get into them a lot. And speaking of Drake babies, that's one right there. So
Yeah, there's a couple people that are more album artists than single artists, and I think that's a big part of being a mainstay. I think that staying power. I think that might be the title of the episode. But Wale is good for that. Like he's good for a good album. He'll drop a single. Like he's had a lot of smash singles, but he's good for an album. Party Next Door is the same. I was listening to More Love Less Ego yesterday by Wizkid again. That album is good. Like there's some singles on there that kind of stand out, but it's 40 minutes and I'll just listen to the whole thing. You know what I mean? I think that last Party Next Door project was like that, where it's just, the whole thing is just a vibe.
yeah, yeah, I definitely that last Party Next Door project is still one of my favorite albums I've ever heard. I don't know why. I just that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite R&B albums to come out. Hey, and something else, Fabo is definitely one of my new favorite
He's
R&B
him.
guys.
He's
He is
him. Yeah.
crazy, bro. He is crazy.
He wrote like, and you can, I want to talk about that next week.
Mhm.
Like your favorite songwriters, because his pen is crazy and he's good. And I think that is, I don't know. That's something that takes a long time to get good at because you can just hear it in some of his songs, like when he switch pockets or he goes slow to fast, like it's just different. But he's
Yeah,
dope.
it's even like the way he says stuff sometimes. It's like I can tell he's a writer, bro. Like
Yeah. When did he say when this? Did Party Next Door say when this album was coming out?
no, but I'm just hoping we get it before the end of the summer. But I mean, summer's almost over. Shit.
Yeah. It summer is almost over, bro, and I think I've been seeing a bunch of dates floating around. This is another. We're moving on from Party, but I've been seeing a lot of people saying Travis is going to drop in November. I've seen Travis is going to drop soon. I keep seeing this thing with, did you see that he's supposed to perform at the pyramids?
I didn't see that.
He's supposed to do like the album intro party thing at the pyramids, and a bunch of accounts were tweeting out like, yo, he's the first solo act to perform at the pyramids. And you know who came out and said something, bro?
Was it Russ or Soldier?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Russ. Russ came out and was immediately tweeting about that, bro. He was like, yo, check your stats. This is cap. Like, he was tweeting about it. It was so funny.
I mean, he gotta keep up the image. You know that he gonna come right at you with the first one to do it. He was the first one to do it. He packed it out too. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm ready for this new Travis project, bro. I think I'm excited for the Rema song. the Rema Travis song because that's gonna be crazy. I already know that one's gonna go up. All right,
Yeah.
what else we got on? What else we got on the list? This might be a short episode this week, and I mean for good reason, just partially because of the technical difficulties. But I had two real business topics I wanted to talk about. There goes my mic. There goes my mic. But Nelly sells his part of his catalog for $50 million. Um, Harborview Equity Partners, the asset management company founded by Sharice Clark Soares, announced today that it has agreed to partner with and purchase select recording music assets from Grammy winning rapper Nelly. A rep from the company confirms with Variety. The deal was closed for $50 million and covered half of Nelly's recorded music assets. The deal includes Ride With Me, Dilemma featuring Kelly Rowland, Hot in Here.
Oh, he sold hot in here,
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
bro.
bro. This is crazy. I guess, and this seeing these names is always really interesting because right after I clicked on this, another one popped up and said Wiz Khalifa sold part of his catalog. And I wonder which I'm gonna look this up while I'm gonna ask you a question, then I'm gonna look up which songs he sold. But I always wonder, bro, like, is it, and I guess this is like pocket watching, right? Like, are they just strapped for cash? Are they just strapped for cash to the point where it's like, bro, I need a quick hit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the like lifestyle inflation, rappers just are so used to spending money that at a certain point it's like it's already on the decline because they're older songs. So you sell it, hope they can market it and get the boost and you get the 50, but you don't own it no more. Like I always think about like what gets an artist to do that? Cuz those are hits. Those songs still play. So it's not like he's not getting paid off of them.
Maybe it's like I feel like sometimes it's like you built up this thing and you made it worth something. So now you're like, I don't need all this royalty, or maybe you want to use the money currently for something else. So you sell off part of it while still keeping a part. Like, I feel like it's keeping your foot like one foot in, one foot out almost. Like, you do still own some, but you don't own all of it. Like, maybe it's just that, like, I feel like you spent all this time and this energy and even this money making this song, making this album. Now it's worth a lot, so it's like, why not reap the benefits of what I'm of my work? Maybe it's
Yeah.
that, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're just a little, I guess I'm just in the dark or ignorant to like the exact amount that they're getting paid, right? Like I would be interested to know how much Hot in Here brings in on a yearly basis, right? Like I heard Joe Budden talk about how much he says he still gets six figures on Pump It Up. And he doesn't own Pump It Up. He's getting like that's like 18% of Pump It Up, right? So if you can imagine, you know what I'm saying? So like you can imagine what a Hot in Here would do if you own it, you know what I'm saying? Or even part of it, whatever like we don't know how much of it he owns because that was a big thing. People were talking about Justin Bieber a couple months ago when he sold his for 200. But when you started to look through it, bro, he didn't own shit. Like he didn't write a lot of the songs, and then he also was in like a really bad deal. But so you can imagine like 200 million of 6% of your like owning 6% of total, you know what I mean? Like that's pretty good. So it's, I guess we're just ignorant to like how much did he own? How much was it bringing in? So we don't know if it's a good deal or not. If $50 million is a lot of money, but like we don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That is
But
true.
Wiz Khalifa. I've been listening to so much Wiz Kid recently that every time I want to say Wiz, I say Wiz Kid. Wiz Khalifa sold Black and Yellow.
He
He
sold.
sold He sold, let's say, Wizkid
Oh,
is joining a growing number of artists who are selling their catalogs for big money. According to a press release, several of Khalifa singles like Black and Yellow, See You Again, The Thrill have been acquired in a new deal by the same group, Harbor View Equity Partners. Um, let's see. Yeah, bro. They didn't give a dollar amount on this.
bro.
Wizkid has been pumping out.
Okay, I could
It's
see him selling Black
crazy.
and Yellow maybe, but See You Again was making him billions of dollars. Like it could have probably made him
That
a billionaire just that song, bro. Like that's one of those songs
yeah.
that bro. I'm pretty sure that is the most streamed rap song on YouTube.
It
Like
might be, bro.
no bullshit. Like for real. I think I saw a stat about that the other day.
It doesn't say how much of it he sold though. Did he sell all of it?
Let's look this.
Uh oh wait. So it's a okay. Wiz Khalifa has been pumping out music since 2005. Prince of the City, Welcome mixtape. He has released 7 studio albums, 1 compilation album, 1 soundtrack album, 3 EPs, and 2 collaborative albums. He's also released 84 singles, including 44 as a featured artist, 16 promotional singles, 21 mixtapes, and 82 music videos. Needless to say, there's a lot. He got a bag, bro. He probably did he get a bag though? How much of his music is, and that's also another interesting thing. How much of the other stuff is streaming like that? Like, how many Wiz Khalifa songs do you listen to?
Probably about 10. I've heard 10 Wiz Khalifa songs I still
Right,
listen to.
right. And so I wonder, like, I guess it might be. I don't know. These deals are interesting to me because, like, as an artist, it's like, what do you sell? Do you sell all of it? Do you sell single? Like, I would, like, what's the point of selling a song that's not even streaming like that? I guess, like, what does that do?
I think I could actually. So Sauce Walker used to talk about how he considered his albums. Some people, I've heard some other people say this too, but he considered them like almost like real estate. So once you make it worth something, you can sell it off because you don't need it anymore technically. But like, I guess
Yeah,
it could accrue more, but you're kind of on the. It's kind of like 50-50. Like it couldn't. You could have some random TikTok kid decide, oh, I'll make a video to pump it up today, and then that month you get a bunch of money, or the next month nothing happens. Yeah, I don't
that
know, but
that is crazy. That is crazy too because you don't know which songs are gonna pop off 20 years later. Like that dude, you don't know in 20 years or 30 years later, some homeless man or some dude that lives in a RV is gonna ride a skateboard down the street drinking cranberry juice and your song is gonna blow up. You don't know
the
that. So
ocean
that's
spray.
crazy.
Like,
That's crazy. So these companies that are buying these songs could very well like have this plan of like trying to like imagine you own every Wiz Khalifa song. You can go out and pay influencers to try you can pay them to Wiz Khalifa doesn't have dance music, but like you can pay them all to go on TikTok and dance to him or make songs to him or you and like paying 100 people could get one song to pop off and that could cover all the money you pay. You know what I'm saying? Like you could essentially reverse engineer a hit that way.
yeah, yeah, low
Yo,
key. Maybe
they
that's
might
what
be
they're doing.
robbing them. They might be, we don't know. This will be interesting to see, like, because right now they're still like, this is sort of like on the back end of people selling their catalogs and stuff like that. Like Future just did a little while ago, Metro did, John Legend did, like so many people did recently. So I'm interested to see what the companies end up doing with it.
See You Again though was the first rap video to reach 1 billion streams on YouTube. So
Oh my God.
yeah,
And he just sold it.
sold
Dang.
it, got rid of it.
Well, we'll see where this goes. Uh, um, I think is interesting, so I'll keep an eye on it. But the last topic I really wanted to get into this week, which I thought was interesting, I didn't read the article yet, but I thought the title was interesting. Instrumental invites independent labels to join its AI powered label builder program with a guaranteed 20% streaming revenue growth. My initial thought to this title is that they're faking streams, but I don't think they would put this out if they didn't have like some real way of um, like trying to improve things. So let's read this. Um, let's see. What do you say? Why did you write it like this? Oh my god. Okay, Tencent backed Instrumental has a weightier pedigree in the world of artificial intelligence than most firms you'll come across in the entertainment biz. Plus, Instrumental's new offer is anchored in something rather unusual for indie labels, a guarantee that it can grow their business streams by at least 20% within 90 days. If for any reason the milestone isn't hit, said indie labels get to walk away, no questions asked. What more? What's more, these labels will be paid in full by instrumental for the minimum 20% streaming revenue growth that they were promised. How are they doing this, bro?
I don't know. It's kind of, I was reading it before you started. It kind of just sounds like a case of betting on yourself. It almost sounds like Ocean Gate. Sounds like it could really fail before it even starts.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know how you
It's
could guarantee 20% growth in streams. Like
I do.
maybe like streaming farms, or like maybe they have some unique way of marketing that they're going to use. Like maybe they're paying influencers like that. I don't know.
This quote says, uh, label building in the modern music business is about a blend of new technology and new techniques. We've built tech that can help any label entrepreneur make smarter, future facing decisions based on data that delivers real time insight on the recent past. Bro, this the world of AI and music, bro, it's so interesting to me because they're using data to inform decisions on what to make. But I guess that's like a double-sided coin to me, right? Because if you look at the way Russ blew up, right? Russ put out a song a week every week until he started popping off. But one
Mhm.
thing he always would say was that the music was good, right? The music was really good. And so that was the first criteria to make it work. And so after that, he could just put the music out and then he could tell by the streams what people were enjoying. And so that in itself is data, right? You're looking at which songs are doing better that way. But it didn't 100% inform the type of music he was making, right? He still made the stuff he wanted to make. And um Rick Rubin in his book, Colton was telling me about this, how he talks about like the first person you should make anything for when you're making stuff is yourself, to consider the consumer last. You can't consider the consumer first because then you're not making it from a pure place. So it's like a double edged sword where it's like you have to almost listen to what they're saying, but you can't listen to what they're saying while you're making it. And so I think when you get too heavy into the AI side of it, you're almost putting them first. And so, like, if they're telling you, like, no, these five types of songs are the types of songs you should make, and they're probably going to do the best, and you just start making stuff like that, then I feel like in the long term, the art is going to suffer.
I mean, I feel like I've
I don't
said
know.
that though. I feel like
Yeah,
when
you have. You
any
have.
AI topic we've talked about, I've said the art is going to suffer because it's just going to be really surface, and it's going to be based off of like data and numbers. But art isn't data and numbers. That's the thing, and that's why I feel like AI is one of the only things that it's going to be really hard to like use in art and in music and in anything that takes creativity, because it's creative for a reason. It's not based off of like a number or some data. It's just not like.
Yeah. Um, I think even in this, like what we're doing here, I struggle sometimes with trying to understand like what should I use AI for? How much should I use automation in what we're doing? Because even like let's take the clips for example, like the clips we post on social. I think like when I do that sometimes, I don't want to say it feels like cheating, but it doesn't like sometimes they don't come out the way that I want. But according to this AI software, this is the type of thing that's going to go viral allegedly, or this is
Like
the
they
type of
rank it
content
or
that's going to do
like.
well on these. Right, right, right. And like when I'm making some of these clips, like I'm like, this sometimes I feel like they're not even complete thoughts that they're giving us in those clips that they make. It's just like 55 seconds of blah and then screen, 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 cat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff. And then it's like, bro, this isn't like this isn't even a full thought. And so I've thought about that when editing a lot, where I'm like, yo, is this actually serving any purpose? Like me putting this out, like it might get likes, it might get views, but is it gonna make somebody want to watch more?
Probably not. Like I
Probably
mean,
not.
it really depends. Like I feel like some of the clips I've made with that have gotten good views, or like people have watched it. It's gotten a lot of likes, but some of them just don't go anywhere. Like, cause I, like you said, I
Yeah.
feel like they'll have like not complete thoughts. They'll kind of just mix different parts of the topic, different parts of that point that we were talking about together. Like, I was making one about like it was either Rema or somebody, and it messed up my clip completely. Like, it completely twisted what I said to the opposite, like the opposite side of the argument. Like, and that's not even what I had said. But yeah,
Yeah. Wait, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say it's really hard to know when to use AI and when not to, and when it's useful versus when it's like just like you said, cheating almost. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess like sort of parlaying into something else, like now I'm kind of riffing, but uh like growing a podcast, right? Like I try to look at my favorite podcasts and how they kind of grew over time, right? I think in most recent memory, the podcast that has like grown the largest to me was Shits and Gigs, those two British dudes. And I started watching them. They probably had like, I want to say 150 to 200,000 on uh on YouTube, and now they're about to hit 1 million, and they just hit 100,000 on the second page that they started last week. So like they're going crazy. But if you look at their socials on Instagram, they're past 1 million. On TikTok, I think they're at like 7 million or 8 million or something like that. And the thing I noticed about them, which is something I'm trying to figure out how to apply here, was that James really noticed that the segments started popping off. Like certain the clips, he'll be like, "What's one thing you don't want your partner to ever find out?" Right. And then he just reads the responses, like the question answer type of deal. Like this, creates the show and segments it in a way that is clippable. Right. So like let's say there's 4 segments in the show. They'll do them individually, and it makes it almost easier to like, okay, this is going to be a clip. This is going to be a clip. This is going to be a clip. But that's easier to do with that type of content, right? Like we're talking
right,
about music and business and stuff like that, and it's more longer winded and long rifted. And so I guess you have to look at other examples of things like that. Like the Joe Rogan podcast really blew up on YouTube because of the clips, like the 7 or 8 or 9 minute clips, right? And on our YouTube page, some of the videos that have gotten us subscribers were the clips like that. Like the Stone Boy, I did a initial reaction on Stone Boy, like what I thought about the album, and that's our most viewed video on YouTube. That's not a short. It has
mm,
over 100 views, and like obviously these are small sample sizes, but it's the largest one, and it's gotten us I think 10. I think it got like 10 subscribers from that video, from that one video. And the fire gun video, or the fire gun song we talked about last week, that one has 30 views and a couple likes, and it got us I think 1 or 2 subscribers off of it. So it's interesting to test with these things because we start to see like what's going to end up like really pushing our growth. And I think we'll have obviously clips that we can post on TikTok. I think TikTok and Instagram, the things that have been doing the best are like really strong opinions. Whenever you have a really strong opinion, that shit takes off. Like I posted a video last week on Burna Boy's that Top of the World song, how I said I didn't like it. And I got like 40 comments like, you don't know Burna, you don't know, like a bunch of stuff that ended up pushing the video, and it did pretty well. And so I think I'm just saying, like, for us to know, like, these are things that push on those platforms, the really divisive topics. But on YouTube, like, like the longer winded stuff that we talk about, I think eventually just over time, that's going to end up giving us a lot of growth as well.
yeah. I think at the end of the day with this, sorry, authenticity is always gonna shine through. Like, that's what
Yeah.
I've been trying to really hammer in on with like my clothing brand that I'm starting. Like, I feel like one thing I don't like about what I see on TikTok when it comes to clothing brand is the whole AI voice thing. Like, I feel like it's just so cookie cutter cheater when it comes to like making clothing and making that your way of marketing. It works, but I feel like I don't know how it works because it's like you're almost making this one guy who started it bigger just because the fact that everybody else is using it and now everybody else is talking about where'd you get that from, oh, he's copying this guy. Like, it's at the end of the day, the authenticity of it shines through, and that's why the first dude is the one who's the biggest off of using it, because he was the first person to come up with this, and then he found his
Yeah,
own way to market it and use it, and now everybody else is trying to copy it and do it, and that's why you see so many people doing it, and it's not the same, it's not working the same, it's not blowing up as fast as his did, because as soon as he did it, like, he was showing for a while what he was doing, but when he really dropped it like that, it just went up, because it was, you
yeah,
saw his authenticity of what he wanted to do with his brand shine through. Everybody else just hopped on the wave of it, and that's why it didn't work.
yeah. On when we get off of here, I got to talk to you about that because I have been like playing around with the scripts and stuff, and I got a plan
Okay.
of some stuff I want to do and help you out with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, bro, authenticity is really it. You know what I mean? I think uh, the more we can, and this is something that I think where I, and even you, but I think particularly like the really niche people, the people that appear niche to us here that aren't niche in other places. Like
Hmm.
Stonebwoy is one of the biggest artists in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? And so like for that, for here, people are like, yo, I don't know who that is. So we're putting people on, but then we're also tapping into markets like that. Like that's gonna be like that's an advantage we have. You know what I mean? I'm finding people like that almost every day. And I think it's just like we said, it's just a matter of time and just staying true to like what we actually like. I think initially when we started on here and I was looking for topics, it's like look in the news, what's happening, and then talk about it. It's more, I guess, more what am I interested in talking about? What are you interested in talking about? Which is why I want you to add topics in there when you see them too, because those are the stuff we can talk about for the longest. Um, and when we like what we're doing now, like getting to the end of the episode, like bro, if you look at the retention on these YouTube videos, I don't know if anybody's even got this far.
For
I
real.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's gotten this, like maybe Auntie, but I don't know if anybody's gotten this far in any of the videos yet. I think on the actual audio ones, I think people have gotten a lot further, but video, I don't think that many people have gotten through that far. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see because I've seen a lot of people doing like the intros to pods and stuff like that, and I wonder if that helps with retention. But yeah, that's why I'm not really tweaking over what we're talking about now because it's like the only people that are gonna hear this, it's gonna be like I went back and watched Shits and Gigs, their first, second, and third episodes like a month or two ago. And bro, they were so like compared to what they're doing now, they were so bad. They were so bad. Like, bro, they were sitting on a couch like this with their feet up, like no socks on, like talking about, like, bro, there's this chick. I went to her house and I was like, it was just a late night, you know what I'm saying? I was about to fuck her, bro. Like they was talking crazy. And I was like, bro, and it was so funny because one of their clips from their older episodes resurfaced. And you know when those people get to talking about like they get misogynist or they get colorist or whatever. Like they'll say some
Yeah.
shit. Like he said some shit that was taken out of context, but it sounded crazy. And I'm like, yo, like if they can start here and get to where they're at, bro, like we can play around and figure it out, bro. Like we're not, and that's another advantage we have, bro. Like we're not talking about the salacious shit. I hate talking about that, bro. Like the
Yeah.
one video I made on that, I made a Stefan Don video last year when Last came out. And I thought it was a funny, like little quote. But when I go back and watch that, bro, I cringe. Cause I'm like, bro, I don't like talking about people with business like that, bro. Like, is it a slap or nah? That's all I really
Yeah.
care about.
Yeah, I mean, even like Market Mondays and Earn Your Leisure, like if you go look at, especially Earn Your Leisure, like when they first started, their production was horrible, like, and their cameras were horrible. But if you look at right now, like they have really good production, really good cameras, they have really good quality, and that's just from literally trial and error. Like, Troy says that all the time. He says literally, we started off with some phones and tried to make it work. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, bro, you just got to do it.
yeah. I think I understand this is gonna take a long time, but I'm also thinking like, yo, where can we inject money into this to like get growth? And I'm just like I talked to DJ. I don't know if I told you this, but I talked to DJ Nate about getting a venue out here, and he
Mhm.
says he's basically essentially any venue that would allow because you know certain venues out here are in every state are racist, like they don't want black people at them. But he said essentially any venue in Jacksonville that allows black people to throw parties and events he's worked with over the last 3 or 4 years. And if I
Mm.
need to get into one, he says at this point they all hit him because they know he'll fill the venue up. And so he was like, yo, if you need a venue, just hit me and I'll get it to you. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna have real problems finding a venue. Now it's like marketing it and finding people. You know
Or
what
a
I'm
DJ.
saying? Like I found a DJ. I found a there's this girl out here, DJ Super Soca. She's dope, bro. And she it's crazy because I've been looking for somebody out here that can, because I want to do some West Indian stuff. I want to do American stuff. I want it to be like a mix. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to just be like super heavy one way, because
Hmm.
that's like that's the brand is supposed to be not that. It's supposed to be black music. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to make it work. And she came in at one of DJ Nate's events, and she did a ama piano set, bro. It was like 15 minutes. And I was in that bitch lit. And then she switched it up and threw like, I think she threw like I think she put on that must be the money. Like she did something crazy where it was like she showed her range in like 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is somebody. And she only had 1,000 followers on Instagram. She followed me back. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got a couple of DJs I can reach. So now I got DJ, potential venue. Now I just need to figure out how I'm gonna market it, what I'm gonna call it, where I'm gonna get people at, and then how I'm gonna pay for it. And we're good. But yeah, bro, this I like towards the end of the episodes talking about like where we're trying to go with it, because I feel like it helps focus us in a way.
Yeah.
Um, I think it helps like really just bring us back to like, okay, this is what we're trying to do. I think that's important to talk about. But on a completely separate topic, bro, I haven't, like, unless I was forced to not smoke, I haven't not smoked for more than like a day in probably like 2 years, bro. Real shit. And I'm going on like day 3 now of no smoking, and I feel great. I want to smoke. Yesterday was so bad, bro. I felt like a crackhead. I ain't even gonna lie. I felt like, bro, I felt like, and it didn't feel like withdrawal, but just this anxiety of like, I just had so much energy where I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. And then it just sort of went away. And now I'm kind of chilling. And I feel like I'm just sharper. I'm just clearer. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was setting everything up, I was just more attentive. Like I feel like this is the angle I should be at every time. You know what I'm saying? Like the camera should be set up here. You know, the light
Yeah.
should be here. I feel like I was just more clear with what I was saying today. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm way better with it. And I think we'll see how long this lasts. We'll see if it's an on and off thing, but I'm definitely going to like, I'm trying to like kick that bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's on some real shit. I think honestly, when I stopped hooping, it was just like this was it. This was it. It was like this is what I'm doing, and I'm not trying to do that no more. Like I'm really trying to like get out here and get shit done. So it's
Yeah.
fucking working, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely does help to kick that habit. I will say that. It's a hard one to
Yeah,
kick,
bro.
though.
All right, let's see if I can. This was a good episode this week. Let's see if the music works. I doubt it, but we'll try. We'll try, bro. I don't know. It says it's going live. You tell me if you can hear it. We'll give it 5 to 10. If not, you cut this shit out. It's not
Yeah, it's
working.
not working.
Fuck
Yeah.
that, bro. Fuck that, bro. I can sing for y'all if y'all want, but I'm not gonna do that. This has been episode 14, right? Damn, we have
14.
14. This week I'm really about to start. Like, I'm making a list of everybody I want on the pod, and then I'm gonna DM all of them. What's the name? Tweeted me back again. What's the Joey Akin? He tweeted me back again. He went on a rant this week about Ghanaian drill music, and I tweeted him, and he tweeted me back. So he's seen me 4 times at this point, and he's interacted with me multiple times. So when I hit him again, maybe he'll come on the pod, bro. We need you. Please come on here. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm just shouting people out at this point, but this week I'm hitting everybody. So if you get a DM from me and you make it to the end of this episode, you know why. You know what I'm saying? But this has been episode 14 of the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. Tonio, do you have anything to leave our audience with?
Stay consistent. Stay at it.
Let's go. We'll see y'all later.